Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the fourth video in the 3D animation series. And today I want to talk about the attack cycle. We're gonna go full detail into this because this is a rather short animation. It's usually around 25 frames in my case. So we can go actually detailed into this. Unlike the previous ones, there are long animations, so we can't go into that much detail. But in this case, we're gonna go into that hardcore. So I finished one of the secondary idle cycles, which is just chilling, right? So you guys just chilling. It's not done yet, but there's still some dead moments in there for the head, for example. It just doesn't move on every single frame, so I need to fix that and polish the curves a little bit more. But it gives you an idea of one of the idle cycles. So you can see like small details here in the legs that twitch a little bit. The wrist twitches a little bit once in a while, like here-ish. Come on, twitch. There it is. So it's just small, subtle detail that will actually help a little bit more with the selling the actual idle animation and selling the character of the character. So let's go into the actual attack animation, right? So I just mentioned it's very short, usually around 25 frames. In my case, maybe even shorter. So what you get, I'm gonna write it out a little bit easier. So we have to start here and we have to finish here. And then in between here somewhere we need to have at least 5 poses. So at first you have the, let's call this the combat stance, right? So the combat stance here, and then here as well in the end. So you get a full loop. Then in between here we need to have the anticipation pose, the actual attacking pose, and then the follow through animation. So I mean, when you hit something, you don't instantly freeze the position that you're currently in. So in between here we need to this up. So for example here we can have the not like that. So here you have the anticipation. I'm just gonna call this A, and then maybe here we have the actual attacking animation. Let's call this AT. Feel for handwriting with a mouse, and then after that we have to follow through. So let's call this FT. Beautiful writing. So now the positioning of these frames actually matter a lot. So what you kind of want to have is that the player can read what's going to happen, right? So you generally want to have like this one here a little bit later, so the player can actually see, okay, something's going to happen here, and then the actual attack happens, and then the follow through. So it's all very short. So let's say this is frame 0 here, and this is frame 24. I'm going to do 24, even number. Right, so then here you have probably something like 20 here. I don't know yet, but see what it actually looks like. Maybe this is like 15, and this one here is 10, right? So you actually see that the main action happens in those last couple of frames. And this is just the build up to the actual attack, and then the attack happens in 5 frames, and then you have to follow through. So it slows down as well. So it's complicated to get everything in here. So let's go back to mine. Alright, so I just finished this one like I just mentioned, so I'm gonna add more frames here. Let's do I don't know, 1300 in the end. So again, I can have like a pause between the actual animations, so I make sure that my animations don't overlap or flow into each other, because I don't want that. So let's go here to, let's say, first let's 1000, because that's where this ends. Let's do 950 so I can actually see what I'm doing. So 950 here, and let's start the actual attacking around, let's say, let's make it easier for ourselves, like 1200 around here. So in between here, this is just blank, right? So 1000 to, well, let's do 1100 actually. So 1000 to 1100, nothing's gonna happen. So I just need to make sure that my animations actually stop in between, so there's no animation in between these frames here. So again, I'm gonna click on my select all, and then again another error again. I should probably update the script. I think that's it. CMDS, yep. Okay. Let's wait a little bit. I'll select all, it doesn't show it, but it selects all the actual controls here. So around 1100, I'm gonna add a keyframe, and in between here, I'm gonna add several keyframes as well. So these are just buffer keyframes, so to make sure that this last frame here doesn't intervene with this one over here and vice versa. So let's go to 1100 now, so we can actually start working on the actual animation till 1124. So this is the time that I have to do all the animation. So first we're going to start off with the combat stance, right? So that's the most important one, and then that has to look like he's actually a threat. So I'm gonna see if I can do something here. So first thing here is I'm gonna lower down the pelvis. Usually it's a very wide stance, right? So the legs are usually very wide apart. Maybe even more like this. That's kind of cool. We should probably also rotate the feet so that makes a little bit more sense, and also do the actual knee twist here as well, so it looks like this. Same thing here. Pointing in the direction that you want to go to. Same here for the knee twist. Should probably fix the weight distribution as well, so a little bit more here, so it actually down the middle, so it actually ends up here and not like here, because then he would just fall over. In the middle a little bit, maybe a little bit too wide though, but that's better maybe. And this. That makes sense. Okay. So the arm should also be wide, right? So you want to make him look dangerous, so I'm gonna make him look really wide. He looks like he's taking a dump right now, so let's move this one a little bit forward and point the arm, the hand itself as well in the direction that you want to attack. Maybe this one a little bit back. Like this. It doesn't look too dangerous though, but maybe if we do it like this and also fix the elbow PV here, better. Same thing here. Still not really that dangerous though. Let's rotate this as well a little bit. Actually, wrong direction. Should be this direction. The direction that the arm that's moving forward. That's a little bit better. Again, let's turn off the lighting here and just work on the actual silhouette. So I'm gonna hide this as well here. We're gonna just focus on the silhouette entirely. So you can see right from the side, it's a little bit off. I should probably move this hand here a little bit back, so it's actually to actually be able to read it a little better. Maybe the hand should be a little bit back as well. There you go. Looks a little better. But it's all about readability and making sure that your character looks dangerous in this case. Or like he is going to do something at least. So maybe if I also like do this as well and then counterbalance this again with the then the character should of course be looking forward, so I'm going to rotate the head and the neck. Maybe a little bit up as well. There you go. Still doesn't look that dangerous though, so maybe if we do a little bit closer here. A little bit better, still not really that imposing yet. That looks better. Still not perfect yet though, but probably counter this even a little bit more. So this like counterposing is also known as a contrapposto. So you actually counter the weight here. Maybe a little bit more. That's too much. That's too much. This looks readable, right? So maybe if I open the hand a little bit, this. No. The finger position though is not really that important at this stage because I just want to have the pose looking strong. That's it. Maybe a little bit lower. That's cool. Yeah. So this isn't the actual attack form, attack pose. Just like what it would look like when he's not attacking. So he should be standing still and not attacking. What that would actually look like. In this case, this looks pretty strong. We should probably bend him forward a little bit as well. And you can also see that we have to move this hand, left hand here a little bit, but we'll do that later. This looks better, and then the head should always look up, right? You should always look at the actual player, always. Better, and then we should move the hand here. Yeah, that was kind of cool. That looks like he's actually going to hit someone. Let's turn off the lighting here. Let's see what it actually looks like with the textures. Let's see, you should be looking up a little bit more. Be a little bit more relaxed here on the arms. That is cool. Okay. Oh, let's turn off texturing and turn on lighting again. So we have a black character. Let's save it. Don't forget to save. And just make sure that the balance here, the pelvis is actually the center of the gravity is in the middle in this case, right? So it should be here, and it is, and this should be also in the center here. So it's in between the legs. Should be the center of gravity. This looks fine. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna grab all my keyframes again, all my controllers again, so I can copy paste this to the last frame here. So I'm also gonna end in this pose, right? And then in here we need to find the actual attacking pose. I'm gonna go for 115. Enable step preview so I don't get the interpolation of mine itself, and then we're gonna do the actual attacking. So the actual hitting of the character. So it would probably be cool if the move forward and then the leg here as well. Move forward. A little bit more, maybe even. Again, we're just making sure that it looks strong, right? So the weight should be on this foot here, on this foot. Maybe should be a little bit more here. Then the actual stepping will be done later on, but that's fine for now. So we just want to make sure again that it actually looks strong and dangerous. So I think about hitting the player with the left hand, or no, I should just do the right hand. Again, 115, and then this should actually be close, so it actually hits the player in the I wouldn't say face, but in the extremities or the actual body or somewhere. Pull it in as well. So you get this clawing effect here. And the elbow should be up. Right now you can see, right, when I'm looking forward here, you can't see the actual hand, which means that it's very difficult to read the actual pose of the character. I need to change it a little bit. I can actually read it a little bit better. Maybe even higher. I don't know how high, but no, that looks weird. Doesn't look strong, right? So let's turn off lighting for a second here so we can see what's actually doing. Yeah, this does not look strong at all. It just looks like he's shaking your hand. I don't want that, so let's see if we can do something else here. This is difficult though, which is why doing melee attacks is always challenging. You need to find the pose that actually looks dangerous. In this case, maybe if we do it like more like this. Oh god, yeah. The wrist is really fucked up. I'm just gonna, yeah. Maybe extend it a little further. Of course, we also need to extend the actual clavicle here as well. So move it forward, move it up. That also gives us a little bit more space here on to actually extend the arm a little bit further. You move a little bit to the right, to the middle. Of course, it also means we need to rotate this as well even further. So you kind of want to have that there's actual weight behind the attack. So I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna rotate the twist here even further. It also gives us more space again to actually extend the arm. So I'm gonna do that in a little bit. course, the head should still be looking forward though, and then of course I'm gonna rotate this one here as well. So you have extra rotation here, so I'm gonna fix this one a little bit. He should be on his toes here, so I'm gonna add foot roll. Maybe this one here as well, actually, that would be kind of cool. No, it just makes him look weak. So the weight should also be a little bit more on this foot here. No, that looks weird. I'm gonna move it back. Again, it's just finding a dangerous pose. It's the challenge. We'll rotate this foot here on. Oh, this one. That's too much. That looks a little bit better, right? With the actual hand. Still don't like this one though, this foot over here, so maybe... I know, it feels kind of weak right now. That works, but then I have to move the center of gravity again. That's a little bit better. Maybe we can also make him a little bit more bend over. Yeah, that looks stronger. Fix the neck and the head. So again, we should always be looking at the player or whatever is hitting. So we give it extra weight by adding in the follow through, right? So the left hand, the right hand, he would actually follow through to this direction to the right. That actually gives it force, because right now it's just like he's like petting something. It's not really that dangerous. So we probably need to change this one here as well. So maybe if we extend this a little bit, so we give him a little more balance. Maybe also change the, make this one a little bit higher. That works a little bit better. Now you see the stance becomes a little bit bigger as well. We give a little bit more weight. This pose is still incredibly hard to read though, because yeah, the hand is in front of the actual body. Oh, I fucked up, sorry. Wrong frame. So if you just get this one right, everything else will be a lot easier. But this one is difficult. It's super painful as well. Oh. Could be me, but this pose feels really frail and weak. So what if I rotate a little bit forward here? Oh, again, wrong frame. Keep forgetting it. A little bit more forward, and then we should turn the head and neck again. Maybe extend the arm even further. Feels like this foot should be way more forward here. That's better. Then we can, if we want to, even move this foot, the weight even further to the front. That's better. So he actually steps out to hit it. Otherwise, you get this. I mean, when you're standing still, you can't really throw a punch. Just try it. I mean, it will never be as powerful as adding your entire weight behind the punch. In this case, we are adding the weight, the entire character to the punch. But it's something to keep in mind, though, when we throw this back into Unity, that the distance will be less. So distance will be from this, right? So here, like 0.1 on the Z maybe to 1.5 on the Z. So that's something actually to keep in mind when you're doing this and importing this into Unity. This looks a little bit better though. It's not done yet, but it looks a little bit stronger than it was before. From this angle, it looks pretty good. On the sides, not really that much, but then again, the follow through will probably emphasize a little bit better though. I mean, some major skinning issues here. You'll probably fix those as well at some point. Because the arm is really being extended here, it's being really pushed. And some weight pain issues here. Wow, that is really painful actually. Should probably fix these here as well, so I'm gonna go in top view here and just try to align them a little better. Oh, wrong direction. Also probably fix some skinning issues. Or not at all. So when you actually start animating, you actually find all the skinning issues, but okay. So this is kind of cool. I kind of like this. So let's go into the anticipation move, right? So this one over here. So we now have this one. Now we have to go in between. So we're gonna add the anticipation pose. Holy shit, what a word! So in this case, right, since we're moving forward, he should first move back a little bit. So you actually have to wait. So you first move a little back and then you go forward. So I'm gonna move a little bit just to try it out. See, moved a little bit to the back. You know, you can see it already works. The attacking also becomes more powerful. So if I undo this again, so you get this. But if I now add the anticipation pose here, I'm gonna move it a little bit back, maybe even further back. Now you can see it actually gets weight, right? Now it actually looks good. Looks a little better. Now I also probably want to move this arm back as well, so it also has momentum behind the actual swing. So I'm gonna move this back here. Maybe also a little bit more on the X. Should be further, like way back here. You can see here it throws it back and then it hits it forward again. So if we move our arm back here, we also need to change pretty much everything here. So I also need to rotate this back here. Let's also fix this here. And this should also go back a little bit further. So on this direction, let's do these as well straight away. A little bit more here as well. But everything else is gonna look weird, but now you can see, right, it actually was a punch. By doing this, we can also have we also have extra space here now. So again, we can move the arm further back if you want to. But let's fix the clavicle a little bit. Should be lower here. Ouch! I think I just broke his neck. Oh god, I hate skinning. Just move this a little bit here so we can counter. That looks really painful. I don't know where you're from, but this will look painful in every single country and every single culture ever invented. But again, it's so fast, right? It's like 5 frames here. You probably won't even tell it, but yeah. But we should fix this. This looks really painful. Also counterbalance this again, so again the contrapposto, so it should be a little bit more like this. So that works pretty well. We should probably move this hand a little bit forward, right? So you get extra momentum here. That works really well as well. Maybe even more forward, a little bit more here, less on the X. Rotate the hand here as well. Fix the god awful skinning here. Ooh, that looks really painful. Holy shit, I should probably a little bit less here. There we go. Now the left hand though looks really weak in this stage, right? So we probably want to point it up. Maybe a little bit lower here as well, and lower down the hand. Let's do a little bit less on the elbow. Pretty good. Of course, this is not possible because right now he would just fall on his ass. So we need to move this foot here back, a lot back, and then we're gonna add some foot roll here. See, now you actually get more weight here on the foot, and actually add more weight to the entire animation. So the left foot here, it just stands still. It doesn't move at all. Why is it rotated though? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. So it adds more weight by doing this. I should fix the foot roll here. That works well. Still maybe a little bit too much rotated here, so I'm gonna move a little back here. So I'll also throw it back. Make it this and then this, so it actually adds more weight to it. It works pretty well. Fixing some stuff here. Again, he's looking at the actual player. Maybe if I move for a little bit to over here and then a little bit to the right, so we can actually shift the weight here a little better. Don't know if it actually matters that much though. The punch itself still looks weak, but that's because we didn't add the follow through yet. I'm not sure about this. On the X though, maybe if we a little bit more like this, maybe break his neck. That's a little bit better. Actually, I'm not gonna cut paste here on the X value here, so it stays the same. No, that looks that looks really weird. We should not do that. This can be stronger, but if we were move the hand a little bit further back here, maybe also a little bit here, make it a little bit stronger. I mean, it is pretty strong, but it can be stronger the anticipation. Okay, let's check the silhouettes. It's weird, so I'm gonna move this one a little bit to the right. Head looks really fucked up though, but that's a skinning issue, not necessarily. And this better. A little bit wider here so the fingers don't touch the actual leg in the... It's kind of cool. So this looks pretty okay from this angle. Maybe we can even lower down the levels here as well, so you get a little up motion here as well. A little higher maybe here. Yeah, that works. Go even higher. So this is the, like the down post here. Let's move it a little bit further. Then go down, up, and then in the follow through we have to make it go down again. Still not too happy with the attacking pose here, but I could spend hours fixing this, so I'm not gonna do that because this can actually take hours. So let's go to the follow through, right? So that will be, let's say, here. Again, like you mentioned, right? So the pelvis is going up, is up here, is down, up, so it should go down here again. So it's a sine wave. Keep in mind, it's always a sine wave. So we should probably go like this, a little bit down. Let's go further down even, maybe even forward as well. So the weights also shift a little bit more forward. That works, right? So you can see this adds a little bit more of a momentum to the actual animation. Could be that we have to change the timing here because it looks really fast though, but we'll have to see that once we got the poses done. So the hand here should be lower again, right? So if we just hit the player in his head or body, whatever. I'm gonna actually follow it through to the right, so it actually has like this side motion. Also add a little bit more on the double PV here. The hand should be pointing down in this case though, but it follows the same trajectory. Oh crap, what a nice word. Maybe even further, right? You can see here, I'm gonna turn off lighting for a second, see what's happening. So it's very bad skinning. I'm gonna move even further forward. Holy shit, look at his back. Fucking that looks so painful. I'm so sorry that you guys have to see this. Go down here and let's have a look. Okay, it's pretty good. I'm gonna make it even more extreme by bending the spine even further forward, so you get even more of a forward motion here. So you go this and then see even lower. You even go lower here, and then you move back. I think the timing here is off though. I think it should be a little bit, the follow through should be later, or slower even. I think it's too fast right now, but okay. Let's have a look at the head. Should again look at the player. Ish. That'd be perfect. Not too sure about the rotation of the foot still though, but I'm gonna increase the foot roll here even more, so you get even more that is leaning on the actual foot. Yeah, I think we need to shift everything a little bit to the left, and timing wise at least. Feels off. Feels like the follow through, so this space here is not enough, so the enemy doesn't get to rest, if you know what I mean. So let's do some retiming here. So I'm gonna let's grab everything. It might be a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna go in here and find my attack animation. Fucking hell, that's a lot of keyframes. No, I just want this arrow. Want to have one frame. Thank you. Right. It looks messy as fuck, but you can see the keyframes here. So there's a keyframe here, one here, and here, and there's nothing in between, so it's a little bit easier to retime this. I'm gonna move everything first. Let's do the one over here first. So I'm 110. I'm gonna shift it a little bit, maybe like let's do 3 frames here to 107. Still here. I'm gonna get the actual attacking, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so I can grab all the keyframes that I need. These ones, and again I'm gonna also shift it 3 frames here to the left as well to 112 apparently. And the last one, same thing. So it's just give a little bit more space for the actual for the follow through. I just deselected one keyframe. It's super annoying when that happens. And also here 3 frames here. Okay, that's a quick look. That feels better, right? So now you actually have a little bit more time between the actual follow through and the final pose. That looks better, and also the entire animation looks a little bit more, I don't know, better in this case. That's kind of cool, and that works really well, except for the skinning of the character. Let's save this real fast. Don't forget to save once in a while, well, very often even. Still, this hand pose here doesn't sit well with me for some reason. Let's go. So you go from this to that. It doesn't feel like it's moving enough. What if you lower it down? I don't know though. Let's have a quick look. No. What if you move it up? Just testing out so we get the attacking. That feels a little bit better, except for the actual pose of the hands. I don't know. This feels not that powerful. I kind of want to move it even further to the right, but I'm afraid I'm going to break my rig when I do this. You can see here. And more here on the PV. It does look better though. What if you lower it down a little bit? What if we rotate it like this? No, that's even worse. That feels a little bit better. Okay. Let's turn on the or turn off enable step preview and see what happens. Right, it's gonna probably look really weird. Yeah, it does look really weird. Especially the back area, but that's a major skinning issue. I'm just gonna fix that later on. Not important right now, so I'm just gonna enable step preview again because we need to add more in betweens, right? You can see the feet as well, they just slide. So this first one, right, you have to move the foot back here. So in between, we actually need to step. We have to shift the weight on this foot here so we can actually take a step back. So between 100 and 1100 and 1107 we need to shift the weight. So I'm going to do 1104. So I'm going to shift the weight here on this foot so we can actually lift the other foot here. So then we get this, and here we can actually lift it, otherwise you can't move the foot. Maybe also a little bit to the right here and lower it down and see what that looks like. Oh, I should probably fix this here again. So this should be 0. 0, that's better. It just feels like it's dancing. I'm guessing around here when I'm gonna turn. Let's turn this back on. Well, grab this one. And in here, I'm gonna fill in the blanks myself. So I'm gonna move the foot, the entire weight forward. Not too much though, so I don't want to overdo this. A little bit forward here. Let's go further. Then we increase the foot roll here. Oh, that's painful. So you get this nice drag here to feet, and then poof, you move forward. That is cool. That is really cool. Okay. We move it back. Oh, we should move it maybe back here as well a little bit. So we move it back. Oh, I just didn't keyframe this apparently. Did not. So you can see if it's keyframed or not if the actual value here is red. In this case, the Z-axis hasn't been framed here yet, so I'm going to add key selected. I'm going to move it a little bit to the, maybe even further. You can see about this small drag here with the actual foot adds a lot more weight behind it, right? So you can see he's like almost falling over and then it hits. So in between here as well, right? So we need to move the foot here as well. So we need to move here up. So I'm gonna move it forward. So I'm gonna do this myself. No foot roll, of course. So the benefit of doing this manually is that you get a lot more control over the actual animations. And in the graph editor we can check actually the spacing between the Z-axis and the bit. But for now I just want to get the poses done. Should not move the foot here. Ooh, wrong object. Close call. This one and it should be on Y0. There we go. Maybe a little bit up and further forward. I don't know. Let's have a quick look. It's in one frame though, so it's really fast. But that works. This feels a little bit weird though, so I'm gonna. In between here, I'm gonna add one more frame. I'm gonna rotate this foot up. Maybe it's a little bit too high in this case. And I should fix the rotation again. Oh, wrong one. Z. There we go. We also need to move forward a little bit further, and then we get the actual. This feels really fast. Yeah, because we didn't add anything in between. I think the spacing is a little bit off on the pelvis on the Z, but that's fine. Let's quick look when we disable enable step preview. We're looking at the actual feet though, nothing else. And this spot over here, that looks fine. This feels a little bit weak, this spot over here, right? You just like, I might want to change that. Oh, that looks painful as well. Okay, so this feels a little bit weak still, so I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Maybe a little bit too much of rotation there, I don't know. Okay. So let's grab the hand here right now, because that's really annoying me. So it moves back here, right? Maybe we can also move the hand a little bit back for balance. Only a 4 maybe even. I don't know what that error is, I'm just gonna ignore it. 109, let's move it forward a little bit. And then probably here as well. 110, we should already be moving it forward, like it should be next to the body. Maybe even a little bit wider here, so it's gonna add more of momentum as well. So let's move it back, and yeah, this should be higher. You get the actual, that is better. See, now you actually get this little bit more up motion here as well. Maybe it should already be a little bit higher here. The feet are super fast though. I might want to change the timing a little bit again. Extend the entire animation by 5 frames so I can give it the anticipation move a little bit more time here. It's super fast right now. But the hands look pretty good though. I'd say that quite pleased with that. Maybe though the hand should be not bent but a little bit more already ready to go for action like this. That makes sense. So the actual hitting looks pretty good. Except for this part over here that feels off. Probably, yeah, it's probably the Z movement here. Yeah, I should move it back a little bit. Yeah, the anticipation is really, it's too fast. Way too fast. You can see like it's like, look at this, look at the knee over here, right? It's just noise almost. What it's doing. It's just like dancing. It's too much, so I need to slow down the anticipation, but that also means I need to extend the entire animation by like 5 frames maybe, just to give it a little bit more space for the animation, because right now it's too fast, it's too noisy. Maybe I could, I wanna try something. Right now we're also moving the foot back, but what if we just don't do that? So what if we just had the character like lean back? I'm just gonna I'm gonna copy this frame here till 1.9 maybe. Paste this here. Delete these. I just want to test it out real fast. Obviously this is too much, so I'm gonna move forward a little bit. Does make it a little bit less noisy though. We don't actually have to change the entire timing of the animation. That's actually this pose is weird though for the hand, to be honest. I'm just gonna delete this real fast. Actually that looks pretty good. Huh. Sometimes you just have to delete frames apparently to actually get everything done. Not too sure about the foot rotation still. I think I'm just gonna delete it, because that's really adding noise to the animation even though it shouldn't. That's better. So this is a little bit more relaxed, a little bit less noisy. This arm is still, left arm is really fucked up. Really fucked up. This is fine. Then you get this. Then you get this weird maybe. Let's lower it down a little bit. Get this turn off, turn on as enable step preview. Follow through looks good though, but you can see that it makes like this zigzag motion here. You kind of want to avoid that. But the punch itself looks powerful, right? The actual slap or hit looks good. Yeah, let's turn it back on again. Just the foot here, it is moving forward, but it doesn't move back, right? So this motion here just like bloop, just stops. So I kind of want to do that, let's say after 118 maybe. So it doesn't move. So you want to keep it like stationary here, and then we move it back. So then I'm gonna go like maybe here. Then it moves back in the original position. Also for the, of course, for this one as well. Right now he's just being Michael Jackson for a minute. That's better. We get this also now, the motion back. That's much better actually. You kind of want to go down, right? So this is the down pose, maybe a little bit up here, a little bit up. Make it this nice, yeah, movement of the actual pelvis. I broke his arm again. I'm so sorry. Maybe it should be lower here. Yeah. Now you got this nice motion here, and it's a little bit lower here, and then it goes back. Maybe the hand should also be in a different position. Not sure though. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay. Probably gonna move this one up a little bit so we can actually step on it, but that also means we need to shift the weight a little bit again. So on here the weight should be on this foot since we're moving back, right? It should be on this foot, so we can actually move this foot over here, and then the foot roll should be gone, otherwise we can stand on it. That's better. Maybe too much though on the X movement here, because right now it's just flopping a little bit. So I'm gonna slightly, I mean, there's still a weight shift here, right? So you can see that actually shifts the weight to the other foot, and then it just moves back again, so it's a fluid motion, which is fine. Maybe also this foot here should be a little bit to the right. Or not. But the back here should be straighter again as well. So right now it's just really flopping, and now it's just gonna make it a little bit more straight again. Just gonna go to my top view here. Just, I mean, it's fine if it's still a little bit rotated, right? That's fine. But we don't want to overdo this, so I think it's this one. I think, yeah. I'm also gonna rotate a little bit back here, so the spine is now also rotating back in its original position. So I'm gonna do the same for the rest here as well. So this one is fine. This is like a minor rotation anyway, so maybe a little bit less. And this one definitely. So it's still a minor rotation, but it's minor, right? Okay, let's move the hand again, because now we just broke everything again. So this you should probably not be looking at the sky, contemplating life, but actually looking at the camera. Thank you. There's still some weird stuff happening though, like this is weird. It might be because of the neck and the head though. I think it is. I'm gonna move a little bit to the right here, maybe tilt it a little bit. Maybe we can actually rotate the head here a little bit so it actually follows the actual animation. We also probably need to fix this one here. I'm gonna move it a little bit forward. Oh, wrong one. This one. A little bit higher here as well. That makes sense. Yeah, there should be weight shift here as well. I don't think there is. Alright, so right now he's shifting, he's lifting his foot even though the weight is still on the center of gravity, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to move it a little bit to the right here. Now it just looks like he shed his pants. I'm going to raise the entire body here for a second. And doesn't have keyframes on the other one apparently. This one does. So 111.10 should be a little bit higher here, a little bit lower here, and then poof. That makes sense. Now this foot looks really off, so I'm gonna this feels off for some reason. I shift the weight a little bit more to the front here, a little bit. I don't know, this is weird, right? So there's no, this part here a little bit weird. I need to have a look at that and how to fix this later on, but no, not now. So let's look at the left arm here, because it's flopping, right? Like here is something weird is happening. That's fine. Then you get this. This is weird. Yeah, let's turn it off a second. Actually, not that weird when you look at this. The arms here. Look at the right arm. That's just curves though. So I'm not that bothered. I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, let's turn this back on again. A little easier to read everything. Okay, so in this case I should probably move the arm a little bit more forward here. Okay, that's less flailing, less flopping right now. That's much better. This is still weird though. This doesn't feel right. So you get this pose here, which is nice. I think this should be a little bit more extended, a little bit more to the left here. And delete this one. Yeah, this arm isn't helping at all. But this does look a little bit better though. Probably fix these down here as well. So I'm gonna just don't look at the skinning, because I will fix that. Not now. Actually, I like this pose here. Arm. A little bit here. There we go. Take a close look here. So I'm gonna turn on lighting again and see how it actually reads. Reads pretty okay. There are still some issues, I think. This pose here is still off. Maybe we should make it even higher here, and then go off down. I think it should be even be lower here already, and then the follow through should be even lower rubber. That's better. We should also probably rotate the pelvis to the opposite direction. I didn't do that yet, so that probably should also explain why there's a lot of weird stuff happening here. Okay, that is okay. Just don't look at the head, that's fine for now. I'm gonna move this one a little bit to the center. And then that. Okay, rotate, 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 middle. Point that direction, that's fine. I think this is extending too much. Why it looks weird. Better. He looks like he's daydreaming or thinking about a better life outside Maya. Let's actually. With fall through, it could be nice actually if it had a little bit more down. So you get also that sense of gravity here as well. That is better. Still might do some retime later on though, but that's okay. A little bit noisy here with the hand. It's doing different things non-stop. Left hand. Probably curves that we can fix, so see this pose over here. Ah, that's why. Yeah, okay. Be higher. Maybe already a little bit more forward here, and then also the palm should be a little bit more. That's better. Let's go up, up, up. Hit. Head here should not be tilting in this direction. That's better. Same here. Here it can, because then it actually follows through the animation, which is nice. Better. I think it's rotated a little bit too much here on this frame. A little bit more distraction. There you go. Okay, let's turn off enable step preview again. The head here is doing so much weird shit. Probably because of the neck. Oh. Let's have a look at the curves, right? Because I could spend like 4 hours just polishing this a little bit more. I'm not gonna do that though, because I don't want to bore you guys to death. So let's have a quick look at the actual animation here. Let's start with the pelvis. I always start the pelvis for some reason, I don't know why. Let's actually go on X by X. So okay, this is already weird. So you can expect this one to follow through this down here and then continues here. But we don't for some reason. So what we could try here, let's see if this works out. So I'm gonna grab this one here, I'm gonna move it up. So it continues on, and then this one also needs to do this as well. So I'm gonna grab this one here and move it down. Similar angle, I'm gonna eyeball this. Maybe here as well, a little bit more of an actual. So this is the X rotation. That's good though. Okay, let's go to the Y. Yeah, okay, so you can always see that this frame here and this frame here are not the same, right? So we need to fix this. I'm just gonna break tangents here, and then I'm gonna drag this one a little bit up, which follows on this line here. This is a weird curve, so I can fix this here by just rotating this bad boy. Same thing here. Here. Set. Oh yeah, this is nasty, right? So I can probably delete these already from scratch. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. I'm just looking at the pelvis, right? Nothing else. I'm ignoring the hands and the arms and the feet, everything. I'm just looking at the pelvis here, just focusing on the pelvis. So what it's doing is pretty okay. Have a look at rotation. The Z in this case. It's fine. We could do a little bit more like this. So it doesn't actually plateau, but it's just like moves on a little bit A little bit more fluid animation here. This one is fine, and then the set here. Okay, this one's also a little bit weird, so I'm gonna fix this one here as well. Fine. Okay, so there's that one. I'm gonna grab the foot. This one's a little bit more complex, so we're gonna spend a little more time on this. This is the X, which is fine. Nothing really happening here. So this is the Y here. I'm gonna fix this one here by deleting it. It should be on the ground non-stop. Whoop. Just one frame, please. Thank you. Yeah, maybe it shifts one a little bit to the right. Actually, oh no, just okay. Z. This is a mess, right? So you can see here these curves, they don't do that much. This one's off, so I'm gonna click on this one. This one's fine. I don't think we even need that one over there, but you can add more detail here if you want to, like the foot should be a little bit more rotated there as well. That's like actual hardcore polishing, which we're not doing right now. Fine. I'm just checking, right, see if the curves are organic, if they make sense. These are also fine, right? They don't do that much. I think the main issue is going to be in the hand here. Guessing this has a lot of keyframes here, so I'm gonna go here, see what the hell is happening. Actually, not that bad. So I'm gonna go this one a little bit here, so this gets a little bit more time here. We can't extend it, so we need to fix this in this way. Fine. It's a little bit off here, so I'm gonna fix some stuff. Doesn't add that much, to be honest. Here there's this one. Let's keep that one. Same thing here, this one doesn't do that much. This one it does, so we're gonna a little bit more like this. So again, we give a little bit more space here in the end. Same thing here, this is bullshit. You can, if you want to, like, again, point this one up. But since this isn't looping like all the time, right? So I'm gonna not do this. But I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I don't want to use this one. Maybe actually use this one though. And break changes here so I can use a little bit more straight. Okay. LPV, yes. And it should also be straight. Of course, there's still some issues here, right? It's extending too far here, especially on the Z. So we need to go to the translate set here and fix all of it. So I'm gonna just find them here. So this is already painful. I probably need to move the one a little bit up. There you go. Everything's happening here. Maybe if you just move this a little bit up, so change the curve. Be fine. Bit painful. You can probably move this on the X though. That would be kind of cool. That's a little bit more on the X. Maybe here as well. So I'm gonna break changes here and just gonna push this one up. Doesn't do anything at all. Unify them again. That's actually fine. So we need one more frame here probably, or we're gonna change it on the Z. So what if we, yeah, see, in this case we actually need more frames here. We need more keyframes here. We can't fix this. So I'm gonna find it here. I'm gonna insert a key. I'm just gonna move it up, I think. Come on. Up, there we go. fine, it's too much here. Probably on the X, yeah. So we need to fix X here. I'm gonna same thing here, insert a keyframe. Move it down a little bit. Oh, if I can actually select it, nice. A little bit down. There we go. But we need to fix the curve here now. Way too much. Down. Need to adjust some curves again, so I'm just gonna click reset here, so it actually creates new curves for us. Much better. So we want to avoid again the popping effect, right? So I'm gonna change some keyframes here. Just avoiding that the arms pop. In this case, you can see the wrist here is really painful, but it actually has a lot of weight behind it. So you actually see the hand here, it rotates, and then that adds momentum here. You can actually add even more by just rotating it a little bit back. Adds even more speed to the actual animation. It's pretty good. I like it. Let's save this real fast. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Nice animation so far. So let's have a look here. I think we also need to change some stuff here. Yeah. But the arm is still pointing backwards, so we should also, I think it's on the rotate Y here. I'm gonna find it. So probably should also, this is Y, a little bit more back here. Yeah. A little bit more on Y. So the arm actually is aligned with the shoulder here and then off. Good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. That's fine, and then it should move back to the original pose. Let's check the hand rotation because I see something very painful stuff happening here. Probably need to fix all of them. So in this case, yeah. A little bit more. And this is also a bit painful, so I'm gonna rotate it down. And whoop, flips here. I think it actually. The fuck? Check the other axis first. Could be X. So let's just fix this. Not sure what's gonna happen now, but it's probably gonna. The fuck is happening here? We're 22. Okay. That's fixed. Oh well, it works. If it works, it works. Don't touch it. What if we delete this frame here? Does it actually change that much? No. No, let's not do that. Maybe a little bit less here. A little bit less. Also here as well, a little bit higher. Also on the X. This is still weird post, this one over here though. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Probably should be a little more like this. But also That's better. It's just a lot of tweaking involved. Just walking through the entire animation like 18 million times before you actually get it nailed. Like the head here is still super stiff, right? But I'm not gonna do everything here in the video because that would take way too long. By the time everybody would be asleep, with myself included here. But like stuff like this, right? So this is a plateau. Kind of want to avoid that in this case, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more. Again, by just adding a little bit more of a bump, so that means that the animation will also continue. Even though slightly, it's still there. That makes a lot of difference. Same thing here. Just check for plateaus and like this stuff here. Be a little bit more organic. Those X. And also make sure that the tangents are the same on the first and last frame. If you have that, you're golden. Maybe here as well, a little bit more, so we get a little bit more of curvature here. That is cool. This is a weird curve here, so I'm gonna fix it. Why? This is also weird. This is also weird, and there we go. Cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I did. This is actually really fun to do, the attack cycles. It just takes a lot of time, right? So make sure that the 5 poses that you have, right? So the let's go back real fast. So the combat stance, right? That has to be powerful. So make sure that you look at in with the silhouette. So these 2 frames should look strong and like dangerous. Not necessarily like he's gonna fuck you up, but he should be like, okay, interesting. And then the timing of the anticipation, attack move, and follow through. That's just trial and error, to be honest. You can't really do it in advance, because I fought 10, 15, 20, but actually changed it on to like, what was it, 7, 12, and 17. So it's just trial and error. So first combat stance, then I just do the attack pose itself, make it look dangerous again, then the anticipation, then the follow through, and then add more keyframes in between, and then fix the curves, right? So I hope you enjoyed it. Next video will probably be jumping or death. I don't know yet, one of those two, but we'll see. Yeah. So I hope to see you again next time.